This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up? Well, that was fun and a little insane. Let's get into it. It's the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Wow. That was a whole hell of a lot of fun as the Dodgers snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. And I know that saying usually goes the other way around, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, which is what we thought it was going to be when they gave up a grand slam and blew a 5-run lead. I'm Pete Fox, host of the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Turn any TV into an Xbox. No console needed. Head to amazon.com/Fire TV. Locked On to learn more. Well, where do we start? I guess let's start here.
This is what you'll be talking about.
That the Dodgers rallied in the ninth, capped by a Shohei Ohtani 3-run blast. And they beat the Diamondbacks after leading 8-3. They were up big, huge third inning. And I was like, they better not blow this one after that inning. And then they proceeded to get no hits until the eighth. Only person they got on base was Will Smith, who walked. Mookie got a hit in the eighth, a single. He was stranded, so nothing doing there. And then the ninth inning happened.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Freddie Freeman, the first batter of the ninth, gets on with a little squibber. That's the turning point of this game, because the Dodgers proceeded to post 6 in the ninth after the Freddie Freeman infield single. Pajas, an RBI double. He had 2 hits on the day, 3 RBI and 2 runs scored. Continues to rip the cover off the ball. That was followed by a Kike RBI double, who had another fantastic night. His batting average up to 215 and the slug at 468 with the on base at 267. That's an OPS over 800. So he's hitting the cover off the ball. He had 3 hits, 3 runs, and 2 RBI, including a mammoth home run. And as big and monstrous as Shohei Ohtani's game-winning homer was, Kike's was bigger. I mean, it was a towering shot. But that was earlier in the game, part of that big third inning. Muncy then got on a game-tying RBI single. I know you guys are like ready to send him to the minor leagues. He's terrible, always will be. Not today, and it is coming around for him. Conforto, who is still struggling now, 1 for 42, I believe, but got on base with a hit by pitch. That's all that matters, really. James Outman still struggling badly. I felt so bad for him today. I know he's my buddy's nephew and all, and that's not the reason. It just seems like he's pressing so hard and he's so close. He had so many opportunities today to be the decisive hit in the game, right? A game-changing at-bat. He came up in clutch situations, runners on, Dodgers need a hit, blah, 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 K. He hit a monster ball down the right field line that nearly was a home run just outside the foul pole, and then proceeded to strike out. So he's not looking good, but making contact, and I guess that's better than not making contact. I mean, he did strike out 3 times when it was all said and done, but fortunately then after Conforto got plunked, Shohei Ohtani came up and absolutely launched one 426 feet to right center, closer to center field, really. His 12th of the season, 5th in the last 7 days, and just didn't miss. I mean, that was a bad pitch in a bad location, and Shohei jumped all over it.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yeah, it's got to be Ohtani. And if it wasn't for that home run, he had a pretty big game anyway, but it started with back-to-back doubles in the first inning, then in the third inning, and then he struck out and kind of went to sleep for the middle of the game, as did many of the Dodgers. It wasn't just him. Mookie finished the game with 2 hits, but again, they went after the third over until the 8th inning and do anything. Will Smith walked 3 times, struck out twice, 0 for 3. Had opportunities, but came up empty, putting the ball in play, but scored some runs. So once across the play for Will Smith. Freddie Freeman extends the hitting streak to 14 games in a row, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, and an RBI that came early in the game on a sac fly. So he's getting the job done. As I mentioned, Kike, a big day. He played third base, then moved over to second, and then back to third. Not something you see all that often. 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, 2 RBI, and 1 mammoth home run. His 6th of the season. It traveled how far? 436 feet. It was a towering shot, so high up there that they had to watch the replay multiple times to find out where it landed. It kind of careened off of the air conditioning duct and then fell down from there. Almost the second deck, but not quite. 438 feet. First pitch swinging, a middle fastball, which was just not a good pitch. So plenty of offense for the Dodgers. Again, after the third, they led 8-3, but then gave it all back on a bunch of bad pitching. So let's get into that. As much as this game is fun and exciting and came out the way we all wanted it to, the Dodgers on top, 14-11. There was plenty to be disappointed about from the defensive perspective on the mound for the Dodgers. I am Pete Fox. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Trade Coffee. Let's be real. Coffee isn't just a drink. It is a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. And if it's that essential in your life, why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. And I have to agree. There are so many mornings where I wake up and, a phone call will come in a little too early and I haven't had coffee yet. And I'm like, I just cannot function, and it is a big part of my daily ritual, to be sure. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour over purist, they've got a roast that you will love. And I go around and around and around on how I like my coffee. Whether it is pour over, whether it's a good old fashioned percolator, whether it's one of those machines where you put the pod in. That's what I'm on right now, is the pod. I'm wondering if they have that, because that would be really helpful, because you go through those things like crazy every day. I mean, you can have boxes of them, and before you know it, it's gone. So check them out. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customers 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb, trade.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. Tonight's episode also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are rolling along right now in full swing, just like the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. And every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't miss moments, whether it's game-winning shots or a breakout player. There's never been a better time to get in on the action than during the playoffs. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off or even live during the game. I'm a big fan of live betting, because if you watch the game closely and it's a team that you follow closely, you can really pick up on a tendency. Like if I was betting on the Dodger game tonight, I would have thought for sure that they were going to blow it, because the bullpen was faltering. But the offense is massive. So, hey, sometimes I'm a negative naysayer, a negative Nancy, and that would have been me tonight, and I would have lost, but it would have been fun and it would have been exciting. So make sure you get in on the action at FanDuel. You do it by going to FanDuel.com, and now is the perfect time. If you are new to FanDuel, if you sign up at FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet, if that bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Well, the Dodgers pull one out in heroic fashion tonight, thanks to Shohei Ohtani with a 3-run jack, 428 feet in the bottom of the ninth, leaving D-backs fans sad and disappointed. I was listening to the game yesterday, picking my daughter up from volleyball, and she said, for whatever weird reason on Sirius last night, I couldn't get the Dodger broadcast, only the Diamondbacks broadcast, and they say D-backs a lot, obviously. And my daughter's like, what are they saying? Are they calling them the D-bags? I'm like, they're not, but we do quite frequently. So yeah, the D-bag fans tonight are got to be a little bit saddened. But the part of this game that was really kind of unfortunate, Alex asks the question, Banda and Vesia's fastballs clocked at 93. They are not fooling anyone. They need to hope they can chase on the breaking stuff. Yeah, that's true. Somebody asked the question if they will DFA Banda after this. I doubt it. Maybe a break. Kenny Chung asked that. Chances of Banda getting DFA'd eventually. He's looking like ass this season. He's not looking that bad. He looked bad today for sure, but he's not looking that way all season long. BC points out the obvious about James Outman, 8 Ks and 12 at bats. The question asked about him being DFA'd. No, they're not going to. They're going to give him a runway. Talked a lot about that the last couple of games because of Teo. Teo's out. But yeah, there are other guys that you guys talk about all the time down in Oklahoma City that deserve an opportunity at the major league. So maybe I don't know. I don't think James has looked good at all. And, I want him to, I'm like Eric Karros. Eric Karros is more of a fan than I am. I like James. I got nothing against him. I've never actually met him. I'm really good friends with his uncle, and he's a Giants fan and, likes the way the Dodgers have treated him so much that he's become a Dodger fan. That never happens. So I'm rooting for James to figure it out, but it just doesn't look good. It's really, really just out of sorts. But real quick about Conforto, something I wanted to mention that I caught last night on the Dodger post game when they were interviewing Dave Roberts. Doc said, he feels like Conforto is just this far away in spite of the 1 for 40, whatever, 1 for 41, 1 for 42, that he's putting good swings on the ball and he's making good contact. So he's right there. Okay. I don't think Doc's the kind of guy that would come out on TV and call his guy out. That's just not the kind of manager that he is. But, his comment was, it looks good. The swing looks good. And it does. He doesn't like James at times looks confused and off balance, watching strikes come across the plate, late, early. Conforto seems right there. I mean, hit the ball hard again tonight. He's on it. He's just not getting the breaks, right? The ball is not falling for him, and it will. So they're not DFAing him. They might make a decision on James, but not anytime soon. They're going to give him at least probably, 50 at bats to see what happens. As far as the defense that I promised you we'd get into with regard to the pitching, Sasaki was good. He didn't deserve that, right? Because when they brought in Banda and he surrendered the grand slam to Gurriel, that was an unfortunate slip of the tongue. I apologize. When can't stop saying it now. When Gurriel hit the grand slam, Sasaki was just like, oh man, because he had an 8-3 lead at that point and got jobbed. Who was it? Somebody else that got jobbed on a bad balls and strikes call. Oh, that was Garcia. That had one stolen from him. That was just a bad call. It was a strike 3 to end the inning, and they called it ball 4, and it walked in the 9th run for the Diamondbacks. That ball was in the zone. It was on the top end of the zone, but it was a strike. But Sasaki, he did give up 5. Some of those runs in the grand slam were charged to Sasaki, but he went 4, no Ks, pitched pretty well though. Very efficient early on, 17 pitches in the first inning. Then he went 8 and 6. So 61 all in all, comes away with no decision, 2 walks. So that was good to see because he's had a problem with that. But Banda did not look good at all. And after Sasaki had a big inning where the Diamondbacks were threatening home run. It wasn't a threat, actually. Home run to Marte on a 4-seam fastball, 427 feet. Then Naylor, a deep drive on a 4-seam fastball right over the plate. What does he do? He throws another 4-seam fastball right in the zone to Suarez, who promptly launched it 423 feet. And then Banda comes in, and what pitch does he throw to Gurriel? A 4-seamer right over the plate with the bases loaded, and you're leading 8-3. What are you doing? Where's all of the statistics? Stop throwing fastballs over the plate to these guys. I mean, they hit grand slams yesterday. They're just hitting grand slams like they're regular home runs. And you have to know that. You got to be aware. Stop throwing fastballs over the plate. I'm like, so frustrated. But, it worked out in the end. It's so, it's the crazy game, right? Crazy game. Garcia 1 1/3. As I said, when they pulled Banda with the bases loaded, Garcia came in, worked the count full, and got robbed on a strike 3 call. That made it 9-8. But he got out of it. He gave up just 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 31 pitches. So that's a long, deep outing for him. Vesia gets the win. He did give up 2 home runs. That was unfortunate as well. So honestly, the way the Dodgers pitched tonight, they did not deserve to win this game. But, that stuff doesn't matter, right? The most deserving team quite frequently does not win, right? And the good news is the Dodgers are capable of this on a regular basis. Their offense is very, very potent. I think when you look at this, the thing that I'm most bothered by is the overuse of the bullpen. I mean, it's going to continually be an issue for us. We are going to have to bite our nails and worry about this from the 6th inning on at best, right? So I saw somebody mention a little while ago in the comments that Kershaw's right around the corner and he'll be back soon. Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Hopefully it's good. He can eat some innings, and we'll see. That's the big thing for the Dodgers right now. They got to eat innings. The starters got to get 5, 6. I mean, this bullpen is just tired. So, giving guys nights off and with Evan Phillips out and there's just a lot of these guys that are banged up. Tanner Scott continues to look good, 1.93 ERA, but the rest of these guys, Vesia 3.4, Garcia 4.26, Banda now 4.8, and Sasaki 4.7. So all in all, I guess a fun game. A win is a win is a win, and that was exciting right to the very end. The 3rd inning I thought would be enough. Will Smith walked. Freddie Freeman ripped a sinker down the line for a double, 104 miles an hour, extending the hitting streak to 14 games. Then Pages a 2 RBI single on an 88 mile an hour changeup. That made it 5-3. Then Kike a single. Miggy walked. Outman rolled over on one. That was the one time he didn't strike out. Rolled over on one. A fielder's choice to Naylor, who botched it. As Eric Carroll said, he threw a lawn dart to home plate. That was a classic call from EK there. 2 more runs scored there. Then Chris Taylor, a bunt single, which was heady baseball, and a sac fly for Mookie Betts to make it 8-3. Unfortunately, that lead wouldn't hold up. The Dodgers would win it 14-11, improving their record to 11-10 on the road, 26-13 overall. Best record in baseball. Diamondbacks now 10-11 at home and 20-19 overall. Game 3 of this series tomorrow, underway at 5:10, so about an hour and a half earlier than normal. Let's see. We got Dustin May. Hopefully that's good. Didn't look good last time out, so he's got a chip on his shoulder, you would have to assume. He'll face off against Corbin Burns, who's a heck of a good pitcher. Comes in with a 1-1 record, a 3.58 ERA. May is 1-2 with a 4.36 and a 1.24 whip. Again, underway at 5:10. We'll be here on the Locked On Dodgers postcast right after the game is over to break it down. I am Pete Fox. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your comments tonight. We will talk again tomorrow. Take care. Have a good night. Oh, don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince, the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. They break it down for you in more depth than we do here on the postcast. They'll give you 35 minutes on what is going on in the Dodger universe and more in-depth examination of this victory for the Dodgers. So make sure you check them out right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Take care. Have a